Alvin checked into the room with two beautiful women of different styles, attracting the attention of passing foreign friends. "Do you want to share a room with Alvin?" "I didn't mean that, Maria. Don't misunderstand me and Alvin." I ignored her explanation and went into the study with my laptop. Ding! Wisnovel reminds you to click the subscribe button in the bottom right corner to read the complete novel. I opened the video chat and Edison appeared on the screen like a dejected puppy. "When are you coming back? I can't focus on studying without you. Don't you want a reward? There are less than 3 weeks left until the exam." I tapped the screen to comfort him. Suddenly, there was the sound of breaking glass outside, followed by Dora's painful cry. "What happened?" Edison, who was writing his paper, looked up. "It's probably my cousin causing trouble. I'll go out and take a look, you keep writing." I opened the door and saw Dora, with tears in her eyes, half collapsed in Alvin's arms, while he was leaning over to help her with her injuries. The two of them were so close that they were almost kissing. It was said that Dora had liked Alvin since childhood and pursued him for 12 years, but without any results. Only when Dora finally gave up and chose to date someone else did Alvin begin to regret his hidden pain. He protected her as a brother, and everyone assumed that they would eventually end up together. Because Alvin had never paid much attention to any other girl, Dora was always the most special one. Alvin looked up and saw me, without a hint of panic and even a satisfied smile in his eyes. "Keep your voice down, you're disturbing Edison studying." "Aw, it hurts, Alvin." Dora suddenly turned pale and looked at Alvin in anger. She was so scared that she took a step back. Unable to control his anger, Alvin applied a bit too much force when bandaging Dora's hand. He pursed his thin lips and narrowed his eyes, saying, "Sorry." He let go of Dora and walked towards me in big strides, grabbing the back of my collar and dragging me towards the study, seemingly wanting to bring me in front of Edison. I quickly covered the laptop screen before he could see it. Suddenly, everything became quiet as if death had fallen upon us. "Edison is sick, don't provoke him." "Ha, you keep mentioning Edison. It seems like you've forgotten who your boyfriend is?" Alvin pressed me against the desk, gripping the back of my collar with one hand and pinching my thigh with the other, forcing me to look up at him in humiliation. Tears welled up in my eyes. "Then what? I'm just your girlfriend that you found for Dora. You can bring her into our room and help her with such intimacy." Alvin suddenly kissed me, his voice dark. "Don't say such things to deceive me, it was you who provoked me first." "When did I provoke you? Who insisted on coming back to help Edison study and refused to have a meal with me, huh? Shouldn't I have some professional ethics with the salary given by him? How much money?" "I'll give it to you." "I don't want it. We're in a relationship. Why would I take your money?" Finally, this sentence pleased Alvin. He gently scratched my neck. "All right then, leave him alone and come out to eat with me." Dora sat on the other side of Alvin, constantly picking up food for him. I casually picked up a piece of mango, intending to eat it myself. But I heard Dora exclaim with surprise and blame. "Maria, how could you feed mango to Alvin? He is allergic to mango." Alvin glanced at her, his expression unclear. Perhaps he was moved. I silently put the mango into my own mouth, lowered my head, and whispered, "Indeed, I don't understand him very well." Even a fool could hear the tone of disappointment. Alvin raised an eyebrow as expected, his lips slightly curled. Dora became even more proud and took further advantage, continuously telling me what Alvin likes and dislikes. As she spoke, she even mentioned his childhood. When Alvin was very young, he had a dog and liked it very much. But his younger brother had just been brought back from his grandmother's and was unsociable and didn't like to talk. So Alvin took the initiative to give his own dog to his younger brother. Everyone praised Alvin for being gentle and kind to his younger brother. Unfortunately, the dog was killed when Edison fell ill. So giving things that he likes to his younger brother has been a habit since he was little. But how did that dog die? Is it the same as me? He clearly gave me to Edison, but he still keeps me imprisoned and plays with me. He pinches my face, calls me a slut. He said, if you get pregnant, should the child call me daddy or uncle? He said, he doesn't want to figure out this question. I was forced to death by him. Is the little dog the same? Clearly, it was given to Edison, but it is not allowed to be obedient to Edison or eat his things. I endured it to the extreme and dropped the chopsticks. But Alvin picked up the shrimp that Dora had picked for him from the bowl, peeled off the shell slowly with his hands, and handed it to my lips. Maria doesn't need to know what I like. Normally, I take care of Maria. I opened my mouth and ate the shrimp, looking at Dora's pale face, feeling a bit amused. Why aren't you bullying me today? While peeling the shrimp, Alvin laughed. It's not easy to coax you into eating. I'm afraid you'll leave if you get angry. I promised you that as long as you don't provoke me, I will try not to make you sad, right? He handed over half a bowl of shrimp meat, wiped his hands leisurely, supported his chin, and looked at me with a calm and elegant demeanor. But what he said made me shy. Since you don't usually let me see you cry, then go to another place. Dora finally couldn't hold back, tears falling drop by drop, falling into the teacup. Alvin, don't you want me anymore? Alvin still supported his chin and looked at me with a smile. But he didn't know that often, without absolute rejection, it gives hope. Dora forced a smile. Actually, there's a boy who's been pursuing me recently. He's coming to France tomorrow to see me. How about we go shopping together? Okay. I agreed. In the previous life, Alvin and her encountered a shooting incident because they went shopping. But this time, I still have to let Dora lead the way. Dora walked intimately with her new boyfriend. She would secretly observe if Alvin was angry. Last night, when I went back, I called Edison to explain that my computer was broken. I had to interrupt the teaching. I was in a hurry to fix the computer and didn't bring my phone. Alvin didn't give me a good attitude when he heard it, and he still has a cold face until now. I asked him if he wanted to tell Edison directly that we are together, but he remained silent. It seems that he himself doesn't want to be the villain in front of his younger brother. He is still unwilling to tear off his gentle mask. His possessiveness towards me has not reached its peak yet. Perhaps this upcoming Paris shooting will be my best opportunity. Alvin, this pair of watches is very beautiful, let's buy it together. Dora naturally let go of her boyfriend and held Alvin. Alvin glanced at it, took out his card, and handed it to the saleswoman. It's not bad. Dora's boyfriend is really spineless, just like me. He silently watched Dora put on the watch and then lowered her head to help Alvin wear it. She spoke sweetly. They match well with us, I really like it. Thank you, Alvin. Alvin smirked, rubbed her head, and left without saying a word. Naturally, Dora followed, and her boyfriend and I fell behind. It was a strange scene. Fortunately, it didn't last long. Just like in the previous life's reports, the shooting started on the street. The crowd scattered and fled. The sound of shattering glass, screams. The spreading fire, the drifting smoke. Alvin's first reaction was to turn around and grab me. Unfortunately, Dora was too scared and held his hand tightly. Alvin. I'm scared. Alvin frowned, but before he could say anything, a bullet pierced the glass above his head. It shook and seemed about to collapse. Helplessly, he could only press Dora's shoulder and lie down on the side of the road. Meanwhile, Dora, dominated by fear, ran forward. I rushed forward and used my strength to push Alvin away. The shattered glass fell along my shoulder. Bloodstains filled my eyes. The intense pain made me black out, and before losing consciousness, all I saw in Alvin's face was his pale expression. He seemed shocked, angry, and most of all, heartbroken. It's not easy for someone like him to care about others. I won the bet. When I woke up, Alvin was sitting by my bedside. He was reading a book, with the sunlight half-draped outside the window, shining on his sculpted profile. It was dazzling and even more distant. Who asked you to save me? He noticed that I was awake, and his tone was indifferent. Not concern, not joy, but a kind of exasperated questioning. I had a pale face and stammered for a long time before finally speaking. I know you'll be fine, but I'll be heartbroken if you get hurt. Alvin suddenly stood up and looked at me with an examining, snake-like gaze. Have a good rest." His departing figure seemed like he was fleeing. My condition wasn't that serious, and Alvin helped me with the discharge procedures. The wound couldn't get wet, so Alvin followed me into the bathroom. "I'll take care of it without touching you." He returned to his gentle appearance, but this time, his gentleness was genuine, seeping into his bones. I didn't say anything and silently agreed. Alvin helped me wipe gently, and finally left a gentle kiss on the wound. After returning to the country, Alvin disappeared again, just like before. But I knew that when he reappeared next time, he would tell me clearly how much he loved me. Unfortunately, I had planned to give him a big gift. Edison passed the exam, and it was me who helped him check the result. When he found out, he suddenly hugged me tightly and said, "Maria is amazing." I patted his fluffy head and asked, "What do you want?" In fact, I had thought of countless excessive demands he might make. But he unexpectedly said, "Accompany me to visit my grandmother." We boarded the bus heading to the countryside. The tall buildings outside the window gradually receded and became low houses. Edison suffered from irritability since he was young, and his parents were going through a critical period in their careers at that time. No one took care of him, so they sent him to his grandmother's house. Growing up in such a gentle place, he still grew up to be a crazy person. When we arrived, it was getting dark, and the moonlight was like a silver thread. Walking along the river, there was a faint fragrance of flowers floating on the small paths of the water town, and osmanthus flowers fell on our shoulders. His grandmother kept talking about his childhood. She also said that he had such a good girlfriend. Edison blushed, which was rare for him. "I like her, Grandma, but she is not my girlfriend yet. We came in a hurry and didn't bring any clothes." After dinner, we took a shower. His grandmother took out the cheongsam she used to wear when she was young, and I put it on and came out. Edison's eyes darkened. "Maria Lloyd, I want you," Edison said in a very direct way. I stared at him with a cold face, and he turned his face away silently. "What I mean is, I hope you like me and be with me." "I like you." "What did you say?" Edison was so happy that he couldn't believe it, but his ears turned red. "But because of the way you treated me before, I got depression and wanted to commit suicide. It was your brother who helped me come out of it. He pursued me, and I took him as my redemption. I thought I liked him, so I got together with him." After I finished speaking, Edison's face gradually turned pale, and he clenched his fists tightly with blue veins popping out. He only kept the last trace of sanity and asked me, "Who do you want now?" "No, you can only choose me." He changed his words again, his eyes slightly red, and he became paranoid to the point of madness. Before I had a chance to speak, the courtyard door was pushed open. Alvin stood under the bright moonlight. He reached out to me and smirked. "Your boyfriend is here, aren't you coming over?" He came faster than I had imagined. And Edison pursed his thin lips, clenched his teeth, and took a step forward, blocking my way. When I walked forward, I could clearly see that his straight back slightly curved. He must have been extremely embarrassed and angry, because his brother's smile deepened. I stood beside Edison, holding his hand that hung by his side. "I'm sorry, it seems like I've fallen in love with Edison." Edison's hand trembled slightly. Soon, he held my hand back. He looked at his brother and said, "Alvin, she was supposed to be mine." Alvin's smile faded, revealing a chilling coldness. I had planned to give her to you." When he said this, he stared at me like a lone wolf targeting its prey. He didn't want to miss any expression on my face. I trembled at first, then furrowed my eyebrows slightly. Finally, Alvin withdrew his gaze in anger. He leaned against the courtyard gate and turned away. Lean and lonely, desolate. He wouldn't leave so dimly, I knew that. Edison wasn't that easy to dismiss either. After his brother's taillights disappeared completely, he pressed me down on the wicker chair in the courtyard. "Maria, you chose me. Then even in death, you're mine." His expression was calm, with a hint of his brother's shadow. It was only then that I realized how much they resembled each other. I tilted my head slightly and kissed him on the corner of his lips.